Did you know that Canadian officials actually discussed issuing a travel advisory for trans travelers going to the United States, and then didn't actually do anything? Back in January, US President Donald Trump signed an executive order declaring that there are only two genders, and mandating that all government documents reflect a person's sex at birth. It threw the US passport system into flux, particularly for folks actively in the process of changing their gender markers. And that is still causing huge problems and uncertainty for trans people in the US. But what about trans people planning to travel to the US from other countries like Canada? This week, Reuters reported that in the days following Trump's executive order, Canadian officials scrambled to advise and reassure trans-Canadian travelers, but ultimately didn't publish any specific travel advisory relating to gender. A January 22nd email obtained via Freedom of Information request showed that Canadian officials were in touch with US authorities about the executive order and its, quote, real or potential impact on trans-Canadians' ability to enter the US. Officials also reportedly discussed the new US policy requiring visa applicants to list the sex assigned at birth on their application, as well as the implication for Canadian permanent residents and other travelers who would need a visa to travel to the US. But ultimately, the only action taken was to update Canada's US travel advisory in March to note a new requirement for foreigners staying longer than 30 days to register with the US government. No mention of X-gender markers or trans people at all. And this is despite multiple other countries, including Germany, Finland, Ireland, and Portugal, warning trans people, and specifically those with X-gender markers, of America's new policies around gender and how it might impact their travels. According to the documents obtained by Reuters, Canadian officials wrote and approved similar wording addressing the Trump administration's new policy on passports with X-gender markers, but never added it to the travel advisory. And when asked by Reuters, a spokesperson for Global Affairs Canada did not say why the travel advisory wasn't changed, but that Canada is monitoring the situation closely and is not aware of any Canadian denied entry to the US because of the X-gender identifier on their passport.